here on Montlake, Mary Lou Mulflur, who has a busy weekend ahead. Mary, thanks so much for spending some time with us.
You bet, my pleasure.
So getting ready to host this year's Pac-12 Women's Golf Championship starting tomorrow at Broadmoor. What can we look forward to?
Well, you got 6 of the top 15 teams in the country are in our conference, so it's really kind of anybody's tournament to win. That's a lot of, 6 out of 11 ranked in the top 15, so you're going to see a ton of good golf, both individually and team-wise.
And speaking of the Conference of Champions, that's one of the cool things for folks who maybe even aren't paying that close of attention to golf. You won your first title here on Montlake in 2016, beating the then defending champion Stanford, who won in 2015. Arizona State won last season. So what does that say about this Pac-12 as a whole in the NC2A picture?
Yeah, it's a dominating conference. They call it the Conference of Champions for a reason, for sure. And our conference championship this week, the last 3 years, the person who has won the national championship has finished 6th in our conference championship every year. We finished 6th, Stanford finished 6th the year they won, and Arizona State finished 6th last year. So that tells you a little bit about the strength of the conference.
And Mary, when you guys were able to host the Pac-12 championship here on Montlake, how much of, in addition, is that for recruiting, where you have a lot of the prominent programs coming around, but you get to showcase this setting and these facilities that you have to work with? Yeah,
it's kind of tough to beat. My recruiting lunch was in the clubhouse at Broadmoor with my coach, and it's an unbelievable venue, and with school right here and this going on today, it's a world-class city, so it's an easy sell when you get kids in here.
Well, and speaking of getting kids in here and then putting them on their way, it's pretty cool, the coaching tree that you have here in the Pac-12 Conference. I know Nancy McDaniel, who's the head coach at Cal, played for you here, as did Washington State's head coach, Kelly Kamimura. So what does it mean to you to see these former superstars of yours now go on and spread their knowledge here in the Pac-12?
It's fun, just watching them from when they first started and to see how they've developed, and they all coach their own styles. You try to be there for them if they need something, but they both are just doing great on their own. So I'm really just proud of them.
Well, Mary, can you give us a little preview of the championship coming up here? It's going to begin tomorrow and then take place over the next 3 days with some stroke play coming up. What should we anticipate?
I think a well-contested tournament for sure. We'd love it if people would come out. It's free to the public. You can just walk in and follow groups closely. And, these are going to be future tour stars that you'll see out there. And I think you're going to see a lot of good golf. If the weather cooperates, you're going to see some low numbers. But that golf course, it's all about being able to control your speed on the greens. And the team that does that the best and stays the most patient is the one that's going to win.
Mary Lou, thank you so much for the time, and best of luck over the next 3 days. Looking forward to rooting on the dogs.
All right, thank you so much.